Wow. Welcome, Pete, to
Good
Adventure.
morning. Good morning, John.
It is a wonderful morning. The green screen is lit up just right. I'm a bright white with the way the glare is coming off my freshly cut hair. Uh, had to borrow some clippers because can't order any right now. So
Really, you're sold out?
yeah, everywhere. I've ordered them 4 times, and all 4 times they got canceled because they ran out of them. So that was
Oh
fun.
my. Yeah, well, I guess everybody like that's the option you have, right?
Yeah,
To like
thankfully,
get your hair
thankfully
cut.
Robbie has them. So I just I call him up. I'm like, can I borrow the clippers? So
I'm gonna grow it all back in. I'm gonna grow my ponytail back.
there you go. Yeah, well, it is what it is. So we are working on adventure, continuing our adventure with adventure. Um, the last time we actually were getting the maps working, so we could actually have different rooms and keep track of them. We're actually using an array to manage it,
Hmm.
which is a great way to be able to handle it. So in our case, we are actually doing it from within the this room draw sprite, and you can see that what we're doing now is when we do this changing rooms, we check to see what room we're going into, and then we actually tell it which one to draw based on that command.
Right. And that was some neat stuff that we uncovered how to use those. There's like extra blocks and the fittings to put them into the list and be able to call them. It was pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Oh, good morning, Zor. Got
good morning.
yeah. We're all in different spots now, so the emotes go weird.
Yeah, but there's improvements coming, boy.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got the situation. We've got the rooms happening. Oh, nothing goes on that direction. Which one did I have? Is it just the 2 rooms that I put in here so far?
Um, no, you got. I
I
thought we
think,
had.
yeah, I
Oh,
think
it is just the two room definitions. We just stacked them in there. Okay.
we got 1, 2, and 3,
Okay.
right? So this is the first one's the idea of the room. The next one's the room that it's drawing. Um, and so we start like top right, bottom left. So bottom goes to 1. Um, yeah, see, we should have been able to. It should have been going to 2 here for the right, right? Because top would have taken us back to 0. Right should have taken us to 2. How did
Hmm.
we run into that problem? So I come down, should be
Hmm.
able to go to the right.
But it didn't switch.
It did not switch. That's an unusual. It was unusual. What? I guess it's in the adventure, right? So, oh, you know what? I remember. So we actually are setting it specifically here, right? So we didn't actually use
Ah, we.
our code, our array to identify that it was moving into that other room.
Hmm.
Um, we actually do this thing here where we have these. It's based on the room number. It does the color that it's touching. So
Yeah. So I mean, we have to do that at some level, but I don't know if this all makes sense anymore.
yeah, maybe what we can do is we can just assume the walls work for right now. Um,
Okay.
but I do think we need to. It would be good to fix this portion here where it changes rooms. So we can just make the assumption, like we can start using the array in here versus
Yeah, we could
using the
start
number.
reading. Yeah, where you went basically.
Yeah, and I think what we may want to do. Oh, this doesn't want to be inside of there. This should be there. Um, let's take. So we need to. What? I think we can actually keep this information, right? So we're going to have something where we're checking which direction we're leaving the room. And I think that would be good to, we can duplicate this a couple of times.
So that'll tell us basically which wall we're hitting.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? So we can
Mhm.
then do the motion. We change this to X position. Get rid of that one. We change this to X position. Yeah. So then we'll have all the different directions. X position though will be it's 320 by 200, so it should be 100. So we'll be able to identify it easier from the drawing, the room drawing, I think. Oh, maybe it's 640. That's a different size. What size is it? I forget.
So that
But it looks like 240 is the,
is that the edge.
yeah, I think
240,
so.
because then we have the wall takes up some of that because it was 235.
Ah, yeah, see, so
Huh.
it's 480 by 360. So you're
Okay,
able to find the stage size by coming up here and selecting stage size.
I did not know that. Thank you.
Yeah, I found that out the other day. Well, I found it out a couple weeks ago when I was trying to draw the screens, the maps, and I was like, "What's the size of this?" I don't. And then thankfully somebody had it up there. So it's 40 by 360. So 360 is the height,
Okay,
and 40 is the width. So that's why it's 240. 240 positive negative, and then the height is
155,
190,
190,
right?
190.
Because it would be
Yeah,
190 positive negative. It's
right,
360
right. With
divided
zero
by
sitting
2.
right in the middle. So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
So now we just need to find, so then that means the X position is going to be 240. And this will be, you know what? I duplicated the wrong one here. Because I wasn't even thinking about the fact that I need a less than. So
Right.
change that with an X position.
All right.
And then actually need to do, not a set Y, but set X.
Yep.
So this will be a positive 240, because this is a negative 240, and then this will be a negative 240, because we want to switch to the other side.
Right. So if you walk off the bottom of the screen, you want to enter the next room from the top. That's what that's doing.
Yep. So just real quick, I'm gonna see. Right, so negative is bottom, positive is top. So I just wanted to order these in the order that it goes around the room to make it a little bit easier to follow. Um, so that one, and then to the right will be positive X. Here, I'll do it like this.
And yeah, negative Y is down. Okay.
Yeah, so that should be
I
kind of
think
that.
there's
These are the
a
direction.
comment block you could put in there, John, if you really wanted to.
Okay. I may do that because I'm looking at this and I'm wondering if this should be if else statements.
Oh.
It may help the processing of this. Let's see if we have problems with processing, this may be
Yeah, because
something
it
that
would
we can
just
change.
fall out.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So I think we'll take a look at that. But um, so now that we're doing this, we actually, instead of this set room number, which is what we actually want to set the room number, but we need to take the current room number into consideration to set the new one, right? Because uh, that array that we've created of the room information,
Right. On that
it's
other screen.
map.
Yeah,
But
map. That's what it was called.
Yeah, so we're gonna take the map. I've a week is a long time. I've forgotten how we do this, right? Because
It was kind of complicated, so it might be worth running through again anyway.
yeah, because see, we got this thing where we hit get item of, right? So we can say, and that tells us the item in the array. Um, and our array is an array of arrays.
Right.
And so we're saying find first value where this is the thing, right? So this actually, I think, is good for us to take.
Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that.
Because we're trying to find this room number. We just want a different value here. And what we want to do is get the room number from it. So I'm going to take this and copy it over to here. So now I have this array here. What I'm thinking.
Sticking that right there, huh? Okay.
Nope, that's not where I wanted to stick it.
Oh,
I
okay.
just it's so big, it just like it just fell into a spot. I couldn't. Sorry, I was trying to because we actually need to. So we have to do this thing. We're gonna have to have a temporary variable to store this.
The item?
I think so, or we could do it twice. I'm going to show the map table up here. And the
Okay.
reason, so here's what I was thinking, right? What we need is a specific value from these three, or these
Right.
four.
Because that's our walls,
These are our
essentially.
walls, right? So in this case, we're going to do the going up first, which is 1, 2, 3. So this is the third spot in the array. And what we could do is we could change this to 3, and then instead of have this set it right away, well, we could keep it there. I want to duplicate it. And then we would have to have another if statement that says if, where are you? There we go. We could say if its value is greater than -1,
Okay.
right? So we could say if this, the result of that, basically saying, is this greater than -1, which would mean it's a valid room.
Right.
And if that's the case, then we can set this room and we can broadcast what room it's in. Oh, that was all right.
Right. Now, really, that's like a room. I'm going off on a tangent here. I'm just going to wait for this conversation until we get to it.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, my mind's racing ahead of how we're going to deal with something, but
Yeah. So in this case, we can now. Oh, where'd my? Oh, there it is. So then this needs to go inside of here, right? So we're only going to check this if this is the case.
that looks like it could be a function, man.
What's that?
That if like that operator inside there, it looks almost like it could be functionalized, so it spits that out.
Yeah, well, that's why I was thinking about storing this to make this easier to read, but I don't think it matters. I'm not sure which, I don't think there's any big benefit to changing it except for making it tighter. And we might be able to move these into functions afterwards at
That's
some
what I
point,
was thinking. Yeah. Okay.
but because the other
All
part of
right.
this, right? So we do that and set this to Y. You know what? We might be able to use this as our bounding box, dude. We might be able to do that. We'll come back to that, but I think we can because we're actually doing a test here. And so we could actually make this if it's greater than 170, and then
Oh,
just
so we
set
don't
it to
even have
once.
to do touching
Yeah,
or any of that. That would just be it's part of it.
yeah, I
Hmm.
think so. But yeah. So now that we have this, we kind of need to do the same thing for each room, right? So 3 is the side, right? So 3 is up, 4 would be to the right. So then we should be able to duplicate this. Make this 4. And then I'm running out of room. Then we take this and we put that down here. We don't
Okay.
need this anymore. We're replacing that with this if statement.
All right. So that goes in there, and then that gets stacked into the
So that
chain.
yeah. I'm just keeping these separate so we can keep track of the direction.
Okay. So that's up, right? Is that where we're at here?
This is to the right.
That's to the right.
Because
The other one was
because this was up, right, down, left.
right.
So it goes
Okay.
clockwise.
Mhm.
So we'll duplicate that one, which makes it nice and fast. Change this to 5. I'm sure there's some copy paste error we've missed.
Maybe not. That one looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we put that there.
I guess famous last words.
Yeah, right. So I'm just gonna keep working on this. So that's this. Put this down here now that we've got a pattern for the work. All right. So I'm gonna stack these up in clockwise order. Oh no.
Right. So now that'll go top, right, bottom, left. That's
Yep.
the way that process
Top,
is. Okay,
right,
cool.
bottom, left. Yeah.
Which is cool because that's kind of a sort of a standard, right? Like whenever you see like lists, positional lists like that, seems to be the way it goes.
Yeah, I mean, you could do. I like clockwise because it makes more sense to me. But some people that are backwards want to do counterclockwise, or up, down, left, right. If they're who's the they're trying to come up with a secret code. I'm gonna turn off the map variable for this here. Let's see if we start this now. Oh. So our rooms are this top one. You got this one here and the one to the right. Now there's no more rooms here because
It
that's
did it though. It just didn't draw the room. It moved the box.
yeah. It shouldn't have though.
Yeah. What happened there?
It got an error. Let's watch.
Oh,
Expected
expecting list.
list. Which one? Which one was it? It was the bottom, right?
So
So
yeah, it happened when you crossed over the bottom threshold.
I mean, I would imagine it happens on any of them, right? So if I go to the right,
No
no.
error. And no error down either.
Oh, you know what? It's probably because the map. Because we actually have a 3 here on the bottom. So and we don't have a room 3 for it, so it failed when it tried to load it.
Right, because there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that equated as a false. That's why it was sent a Boolean instead of list. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So should we, if we add the room, then that shouldn't happen though.
Right.
Yeah.
I
So
just don't remember so if we want to create a new room, so we're gonna go to 3. What?
right. 034. What did that mean?
What's that?
I was looking at I forget what the
It's these.
array meant. Oh, 03. Right. Okay.
So what I'm trying to see here, let's do a clear. That one has an opening on the bottom, which wouldn't be good because we're coming from the bottom, so we need an opening at the top.
Right.
And I think it's actually this room that we
Yeah.
want, which is room 1. So we should be able to now make this room 1. This is going to have a top opening back to 2,
Mm-hmm.
and there'll be no on either of these directions.
So you can only go back up.
Oh, right has 1 listed, which shouldn't be the case because this is actually -1.
Maybe that's why. No. Okay.
Yeah, so we should be able to move down, right.
Yeah, and up.
Oh!
Uh-oh. No left?
So
We don't have
second
a
room.
left on that one.
Oh, we did not, because this actually should go back to
The previous
1.
room.
Yeah, so this should go back to 1. Let's try this again. How fast that goes.
I know.
Without touching, it's great. So we are going to have to worry about that at some point here. But we've got things moving around the rooms. We got different maps happening. We can actually now build out those maps, or this map, to have more rooms. Because like technically, I believe the room to this direction is this same room.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 0, 1. So let's duplicate this, right? So we'll have, this will be 4. But 4 is going to be going to the left of 1. So, right, and then left will be 4.
Mm-hmm.
This will still be 3.
Must want to draw it.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to at some point here.
Right, so
Kinda,
we can number what the room numbers are and see where they connect.
we're going to forget them at some point. Maybe I'll do that between streams. I'll just kind of draw something real quick in like Lucid Charts or something.
Mm-hmm.
So then the new room would have an up direction, which would be the maze. Starts at that point.
Right.
Right would take us back to 1. Down would be blocked, and left would be blocked. So I believe that should be, yep, because technically there's supposed to be a line here along this edge here.
That black line or whatever in the game.
Yeah. I'm going to turn off the adventures X and Y. So don't let us see those anymore. Cool. So now we've got a map that's kind of built out that covers everything up to the maze, because the maze is going to get tricky. Oh, where did we just teleported somewhere weird.
What?
So I went down, go to the left, and when I went up here, it took me to it took me to 0, 1, took me to room 2. Is that how I have that set up? Oh yeah, because this is actually going to change, because this should be our maze room, the start of the maze, and we don't have that quite yet. So it's what it's going to do. So now that we've got that happening, we actually want to now get the we were talking about doing the key.
Yeah, like being able to drop it and leave it in the different rooms.
Yeah.
So the key kind of needs to know what room it's in, right?
It does need to know. Which I think it feels like we should be able to do that pretty simply.
Right? Like we should be able to
We should be able to set a
variable on it.
Yeah, so we just set a variable for it for this sprite, and we'll just say room we'll just do current room number. I think that might be a start, right? So then we can just have a set in here. What if we do a set here for the current room number? Oh no, I forgot you could use the drop down.
So we could place it to begin with somewhere. That's what that would do.
Yeah. So that'll place it somewhere. Then when the change room event happens, we can check here to see if they're equal to each other. Right, so we can say, is this new current room number equal to the room number?
Right. And then show, else hide.
Yeah, I think I should have done an if else on this, right?
Yeah, probably.
Or we just, yeah. I was thinking we could actually do a thing where we can always show it and then hide it. Or no, maybe always hide it.
And then show it if.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that too.
So it's in this room.
It's not in that room. It's not in that room. Is in that room.
How did it all of a sudden get on my...
You touched it, didn't you?
I didn't have it picked up.
It looked like you ran into it.
Right, but here.
Right.
Did I run into it the first time?
I thought you did. Oh, but it stayed in the other room. So now
Well,
I can't leave the room because we didn't change it.
We didn't change it. Wait a minute. But we have an is held variable, right? So we can say, we can actually do when changing rooms.
We could change the room that it's in.
Yeah.
If it's held.
Yeah. So we can do that. So we'll do a if here. Say if is held.
Right.
Then we can set.
Yeah. Current room number to room number.
Yeah, to room number.
So if you're holding it, it'll just come with you.
Yeah.
And then it should record the room number when you drop it, so it'll always be there. Wow, that was easy.
Way easier than I was expecting, right? So it's there, not there. Good.
Right there, drop it. What? What?
Oh my goodness.
No. That was so easy.
That was much easier than I expected it to be. What?
What happened?
Oh, because I... No? What happened here?
It looked okay to me.
Well, no, because I think I...
Oh, how'd you get it back?
That's what I don't know. Oh, you know why? So
the rooms aren't unique, are they?
They're not. So even though mentally we're able to say it's gone, right? But I ran into it by random because...
And then it became held.
Yeah, because so there it's in the middle, right? So boom, now I'm holding it, but you can't see it, right? And I come up here, and boom, I've got it. Because I ran into it when it was invisible.
Right, so we have to not flip that hold if it's not showing.
Yeah, totally unexpected. Totally unexpected. I didn't even think about that. Which is good.
Yeah, okay. So it's a little harder than we thought. Good. Gives us something to do with the other half hour.
Well, I think it's not gonna be hard.
No, it's not. It's not gonna be hard.
Because this here is what's setting it to true. Right? So I
think I think you could do shown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it might be in looks or sensing. Try looks.
Yeah. Invisible keys. Our remotes are all messed up. We missed our stream yesterday to fix it.
I know.
So I'm thinking, so can we just add it to here? I think we can.
Yeah, couldn't you just do like and as shown? Just all the way up at the top?
I think so. I was worried about this piece here. Do we just put if shown around the whole thing?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you mean all the way around, like a whole separate if? Yeah, you could do that because yeah, it doesn't exist essentially if it's not showing.
Well, because like if here, this here is the portion that builds the show.
Mhm. And then the rest of it moves it along. And we don't want that happening either.
I don't
But
know.
if
I'm confused. I'm looking at this, and I mean I know what we did, but so this here is actually building this key X and Y position, which doesn't get used unless it's held. Wait a minute, does it even use it?
at all, yeah, why does it set it on the way out?
Well, this is inside the forever loop.
Right. Oh, so it's not out out. It's just the last thing it does. And then it comes back.
Why do we have a key position? Because we're doing it all based on the diff.
Go to, go to.
I don't.
There's that minus up there, but we're not, where are we using that key X? Was that what we were using for the bounding box, maybe? Is that why that's there?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, we should have refactored after we finished this, huh?
Yeah, I don't
I
see, I don't see those variables being used in there at all.
don't
Which is
think
not
so.
to say they're not used, but
Are they? Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. When you said the bounding box, I completely forgot about that, right? So in here, I had done a thing to get the key X position so I could draw the box around it. You're
mhm.
right, man. You're right. I'm wondering if I should leave that in there just in case, so when we come back to fix it.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that might be a good idea.
but what I think though is that this here really should be in here.
Because it's the only time you care.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that because of that, we can update this operator, right? Um, we have to say, um,
Yeah, so here's shown. There it is. See the pointy down underneath show and hide?
oh yeah. So then we could do that and take this.
Right, and put the whole thing in there. Ooh.
All right,
So now if you run right into it, it still shouldn't matter.
right,
Yep.
and it's still there.
So now I just grab it and walk out with it. Yeah.
So if it should have been picked up.
It's not.
Can I hit it? I cannot. It's so fast. Look at this. I can just go right through walls. Who needs?
Yeah, well, that's another thing we got to do.
Oh, I gone. I just teleported to another room because we have it set on this one to go to 2. Oh, not this one. This one here. So now I'm whoop, different room. Teleported all the way to the right. All right. I am surprised.
Yeah, man. That's working.
Yeah, surprised how easy that was. I think we can.
We probably want to do the walls so that you bang into them.
Yeah, I'm gonna save.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Got to remember that with Snap. Oh, hey,
Yeah,
thanks.
it is magic. All right. So, all right. So now we've got that. We should deal with the bounding. How we're gonna deal with that? I don't. As much as I don't want to do it, I feel like we should have one color for everything.
What do you mean? For all
Well,
the walls?
yeah, because I'm not sure. I'll tell you what I'm nervous about. If we try to define it in the room data that we have, like in the map data, I think we're
Uh-huh.
going to run into I think we're going to run into an issue. Um, I think we're going to run into an issue, and I don't know how to address that. Right. So mostly when we get to the map or to the maze, because defining it here would be okay. So we can kind of say the exit is this size in this area, but
Right.
when we go to do the maze, you actually have to be able to go, it has to block you in a bunch of different spots.
Okay. So that sort of begs the question a little bit: are we going to draw the maze the same way with the pen? Because that's one part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm not sure. I feel like if doing the touching is the easiest.
Yeah, for the color. But then the color has to stay consistent through the game.
Yeah. I wonder. This square box, I don't think we can drop anything into it.
Yeah, we've tried that last time. Like, it would be difficult. And because
Yeah.
it doesn't work great, so we can't just have all the colors and have it iterate through them because all those touchings will bog us down.
Right. Yeah, because that we found out right away with just two colors. The
So
touching is slow.
so what if what if we just instead of trying to like determine the walls, what if we just said you can't leave the room and we just draw a door, like an invisible door? So you know what I mean? We just make it so that you can't leave the bounding of what we know is the edges unless you touch on a door, unless you're in the door zone.
Okay.
I don't know if that's any easier. I'm thinking it through, right? And I'm saying like, well, instead of trying to keep track of all the walls, maybe just the opening.
Right. So the maze is going to be tricky because there is no
There
openings.
is no opening, yeah.
Right. Well, there are.
But the
There's just a
maze
bunch
is
of them.
always blue. So we can also just add it because the maze is all the same color. So we could, when you enter the maze, switch the way we keep track of your ability to move. And we leave the maze is one big room kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That might be a way.
Okay. So the
Because
the thing is on this is now trying to put where the doors are.
well, if we do the maze a different way, then maybe we don't have to worry. Well, we still have to worry about it. We still have to get the walls to work.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, because the door goes in basically the gap that we skip when we're drawing the room on the pen with the pen.
Right. But so the problem is that we have these ones where this is a big gap.
Yeah. So that whole thing's a door.
Yeah. Whereas this one isn't. Ah, this will be trickier than I would have hoped.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we can do the colors and just when we know when you enter the room, maybe we just change the touching color
But how do
depending
we?
on what room you're in. Like it'll be predetermined.
Okay. So let's see. So if we put it in here.
So like if room one is color like red, then we could set the pen to red and set the touching to red until you leave. That's kind of hinky.
Yeah. So
Because we had that leaving room, that sense of when we were leaving a room, like changing room.
yep.
Yeah. So we do know when we change rooms and we know what room we're going in. So we could reset like the global variable for the touching. Nah, but you can't set it to a color. You just need to be able to set it to which one to use, which block to use, which we could put in an array and then run the block. Hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Interesting. So
So we could hard code it, but then make it like an index, so it doesn't have to run through them all.
yeah. So we're doing it here because it's a function though. We're adding this into this list of room data so it knows which room to run.
Hmm.
And so it's just taking the second value. We could actually add a third one to this, right?
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's give that a try. It's an interesting, it's an option. I wonder how slow that's going to be. All right, so just to take as a quick, so you can see how fast. Oh, so we added all this stuff to the looks on when the changing room happens, but we forgot to make sure that it's showing when it starts.
Oh.
I was like, wait a minute, where'd my key go? It's like it's not even here. You see, we're moving pretty fast, which.
Yeah. Super fast.
All right, good.
So you might even want to do a proof of concept. Like, what if you just hard code in that red? Just drop it right in there for this room and see how much of a performance hit we take, like out of the gate.
Yeah. Because what we actually won't need to do then is do a.
Yeah.
We'll probably actually want. Oh no, sensing. I was trying to remember where it was. I was like. So if this is touching. Actually, that's not what we want. Shoot. What we want is if it's not touching.
Right, because then we want to move. Otherwise, we want to short circuit the movement.
Yeah.
So that gets wrapped around kind of everything. Because all of that is keyboard input, right?
It's this section here. It's around that section, right?
Right, because none of that other stuff will matter if you don't move.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's just hard coded for this room. But let's see how fast we can move around the room and stuff. Wow.
Holy moly.
Wow.
Oh, and then I was stuck on it.
And now it's touching and it can't move because you have to do that push off. But you know what? I don't think we can do it that way
I
because
know.
that
That's a
stunk.
bummer. That is a bummer and a half.
Yeah, their color sensing
Hmm.
logic is just terrible. Do we need to put like a tiny weight down at the bottom of this loop? Like maybe it's just hammering the. Like maybe that sensing is in too tight a loop. Like if you just put like a weight, 0.01 or something at the end, if it would help.
Um. But
I'm not optimistic, but
yeah, I
I
mean,
want to see.
I'll try.
Yeah, it's still slow. Is it improved?
I. A little bit.
A little bit. Not enough,
No.
if at all, right? If we're saying, is it better? It's not worth it.
I can say it's a little bit better because now that this is out, you can see gets really, even just like Snap itself is like choking. But if I put this back in there and I drag this off, like, it's still kind of bad. Never mind. I can't believe the touching is so bad.
Yeah, like there must be something. It
Maybe
must
we're
not
doing
be able.
something wrong.
I don't know.
It,
Yeah, it's really bad though.
yeah,
I mean, maybe touching colors worse than touching a sprite. Look how fast it is without that. Oh my god.
I know. So it's kind of the speed that you want it to be. So,
Yeah, so the touching, we might have to find a way to not use the touching.
how do we do something beside without using the touching? So there's things we could do that would be creating bounding boxes that we could do collision testing, right? So we could say, like, so for example, this room, we could create a bounding box that'll be this size, and it'll be this size, and it'll be this size.
Well, I mean, you kind of know that what the left bound of um, the whole room is, so you could test like the X position, Y position stuff like right in those key presses, and just like not take the change if you were beyond where you're allowed to go. We just have to figure out how to make the opening allowed.
Right.
But I mean, that could be testing the other, like in other words, if you're limiting X, right? Unless, no.
Yeah. So here's
Well, unless your Y position, you can find out from the Y position. Like if you're on a certain Y axis, you would be able to move past that X, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that opening is on the bottom. So you're gonna, if you are within a certain range of X, like toward the middle, like say, you know, -30 to +30, and you're moving down, you can go.
right. But how do we define that by room? That's what I'm. That's where everything becomes a problem because it's dynamic, right?
Well, it's dynamic, but the openings are the same size, and we really just
They're
have to
not.
give it.
There's two different sizes.
There's two different sizes, right? Okay, but that's all. There's just like kind of like the whole
Until
screen
you
except
until
for
you
the
get to the
edges.
maze, and then the maze has a whole bunch of different sizes
Yeah,
and a
but the
bunch of different
maze,
spots.
the maze is one color. Oh, we still can't do the touching even.
Yeah, the touching
The
is
touching is just
it.
crap.
Yeah, touching is out the window, right? We're not going to do that. So what I was thinking, like maybe what it would be interesting to try. Maybe we can try it just as a simple example, and we'll do it with maybe with just this room. Here's my thought. My thought is we can take um, we can create an array of collidable objects,
Okay.
right? So I'm thinking that we create. I want to do a variable here. We'll just do it as a test, right? So we'll do walls,
Okay.
and we will try to remember. So do I do it with a set? So I set walls. Oh,
You got drop down.
I keep forgetting. You know what I mean? It's like so many things I'm like grabbing for stuff, and other things I'm not. So
Is that an empty list?
this is an empty list.
Like it's just a definer because you want to take that open bubble out. Like hit the left arrow because you'll have this weird extra element.
Right. Oh yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. All right. So then we can add items to it, right? So that was the idea. And so here's what I'm thinking of doing. Thinking that we're going to use only boxes. We're going to only use rectangles as our bounding boxes. Um, so my thought is we take we want to add. Oh, what's my see? So here's the weird part, right? So now I got to
Mm-hmm.
drop it on there. It's just weird.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Where it
Like
seems like this is an add to, it's only going to be a list. So why is it giving me an option of something else? Right? It's a little confusing. So here's what I was thinking, right? So we're going to do the wall. We'll do the wall from here to here first. And we can make it so that we just give it starting the upper left, do the coordinates for it.
mm-hmm.
Oh, how do we do this? How do I do this best?
You really only need the outer edge, right? You don't
Well, we
need the
need the whole thing.
box.
Yeah, we need the whole box. Because that's how we would want to do it when we do the maze, right? Because
Okay.
it's
So you want both
internal.
sides.
Yeah, it's on inside. Yeah, exactly. So if we were to do this, we would start at shoot, I forget where.
Yeah, well, we can look at the. Why don't we look at the what we set up for the pen? Because that's pretty much.
Yeah, right. So it'd be negative 240. I need to put a bunch in here, huh? Actually, I just need two. I need just the 4, right? So top left and bottom right.
Right, and then you can kind of extrapolate it out.
Yep. And so then this would be 190. And then bottom right corner, which is going to be down here, x will be positive 240, and then this will be negative 190. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I went too far.
Yeah, you just want the inside of the one rail,
I
right?
went all the way down here, and I meant to actually do here. This is
I
where we
wasn't
want to
sure
go.
what you were going at, but yeah, okay.
Call it out, man. Call it out. I need some help.
I wasn't sure.
So this is still negative 190, but this here is only going to be like...
Yeah, like 245 or something, or 250. It's like 10. What is that?
Well, this is negative, so this would actually be like 230.
Right, because going down is going up, right?
Yeah, because it's the center, right? So center of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I need to add a sprite that's just a dot. Can I just do a dot? There we go.
Stuck it to the key.
Yeah, so... Oh, I've got the wrong numbers up here. I'm like,
That's the adventurer. Yeah, it's still the
I was like,
box.
the numbers aren't changing. I was like, wait a minute, something's wrong. That's why I got stuck. I was just like, wait, what's going on here? This doesn't look right. I want that. Okay. Because I want to put this spot down here. Yeah, so then I should be able to... So it's about 220 then, right? So if I do that one, I'm gonna do we'll do the top also, because that starts at the same point there.
Right.
But
and then,
instead I'm gonna go to this spot here, over on the right there. So then this would be 240, but then this would be 160.
right.
All right, so that's the top inside there. So maybe we can try it with even just that.
All right, so that defines the walls.
Yeah. So now we have the walls. I do need to get an idea what the size of the adventure is, right? So if I were to do, I'm gonna put that at 0, 0, and then I want to drag. So it's what, a kind of a
Maybe
10 by 10.
Well, it's from the middle of it, so maybe 20.
I think it might be a 12. Oh yeah, 20. But it's
But each direction.
yes. It's 12 each direction. So yeah, so it could be like the whole side is 20. I got you. Yep. So how do we create the bounding logic in? I'm trying to remember how to even do the collision logic between the two, right? Because there's a way to do it that we can make it. We might even be able to just create a function for it.
Well, I mean, you kind of just can't cross that boundary, but the direction matters, right? So.
Well, the direction doesn't. You just want to know what the new change is going to be and undo it, right? So you want to test what that new change is going to be and see, are you going to collide into it? Now, with that having been said, if you play the original game, it actually bounces, right? It's like when you would hit the wall, you actually see the thing go like
It like
jitter
shoves
off.
it off a little. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So we should be able to essentially, like, we kind of can draw that box and see if you're going into it just from those coordinates, right?
yeah.
So what
So
does that look like? So because like there should be a function where we can basically give it that list and say, am I hitting you?
yep, that's the idea, right? It's because then we can put as many of these in here and do the test against it.
Right.
And I think what we want to do, let's say we're going to do it for the 1 and do
How do
um,
we do it for the key? Because we didn't use a touching there. We used coordinates.
we did, and it's a similar thing, right? So because we actually had to do a diff to get the position for it to see where it picked it up and keep it there in that same spot.
Right. But
Um,
otherwise, it's not a.
yeah, so this is what we did is we did this diff and then we checked the diff, which we don't really need to do.
Yeah, because we don't need the wall to follow you.
Yeah. Let me see. 2 test bounding boxes. All right, so these are doing it with squares. So they're actually using. Oh no, this looks like it's working.
Yeah, it's like a rectangle, potentially.
Yeah, because it's the width on there.
Yeah. Yeah, because a square would just have the single value.
So I think we even have this capability for Snap.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think we could pretty much code that function.
I think we can. Um,
I can't say I 100% got what it did, but I got the
okay, so
gist.
what it's doing here is it's so what this is actually trying to do, and that's why I'm not positive this will work for us, right? You can actually see here it kind of explains it in English. It says
Uh-huh.
basically you're saying where are the center of the boxes close enough to have their uh, their axes intersect,
Mm.
right? So it's doing an intersection test. Um, the part that is going to be the concern for me is that we're not storing the information exactly like this. We're trying to tell it where on the screen it is, and we're trying to say, hey, do these things intersect? I think there might be a better way of doing it. Um, so like maybe even this.
So that looks more like what I had going on in my head to see if they're lapping.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
almost might. You know what's funny?
What's that?
I was almost wondering if you could almost have like a bounding box that followed your player around.
Well, I mean, that's what this is what this is doing, right? And I think
Yeah.
we can identify it. We're gonna have to. That's the one thing on the adventure that we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have a um, variables that define that.
Right. Like its own hitbox.
Oh no, did Snap just lock up on me?
Oh no.
Oh goodness, I'm gonna save it again real quick. Um, yeah, Snap is a little tricky. Um, yeah, so I think for us to do it for our bounding box, I think we could do it. Let's try doing this, right? So let's do we want to do the test.
Okay.
Um, we need to do it. We need to do a for each
There is a for each, but I think it's might be in
in the variables.
the lists. Yeah, down where you deal
There
with
you
the
go.
list stuff.
Yeah, so now we can do that.
Yeah, for each.
We can do the walls. for each item in the walls. Then we can use item. We want to say. Well, let's look at this, right? So this said left is greater than. Oh, Snap does not like me leaving. Let me stop the code.
Oh, I can hear you again. Good.
Yeah, I think Snap just like took over my whole system. Snap's like, we own you. Uh, shoot. So what I need to do is,
Uh-huh.
yeah, right?
Because now you got the walls, you got to pull out each value, and that's the ores, right?
Yeah,
So you got to get like items.
yeah,
So
the first
one,
item.
item, yeah. Well, that's got a question. Like that's got a filter on it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think you
well, that's what
just
I
want
want.
to.
Oh, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. You're right.
No, I
You're
don't
right.
think you want it yet. I think you just want. There's a item one. Yeah, I think that's what you want.
Yeah, so take that and then, um,
So that'll be that first position. So that's the top, I guess.
what's the top? Yeah, top.
Top left.
Yeah. So then I can put that, say, is that greater than, um, hmm, then position minus 12.
Minus the. Yeah, the width was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how do
was
I do that on here?
ish.
Oh, yeah, there we go. We'll just do 12 for right now.
Yeah, it was close enough that we should see if it's working or not.
Oh, no. So we're going to say this, so X is greater than that one. Or, I need to do another or. I'm just going to kind of keep building these out here because I think this is actually what I need.
Hmm.
Right, so
Yeah, we're getting there. It's complicated, but
yeah.
so
Right.
that'll give you your 4 potentially.
Yeah, and so then I need to do do a couple of these.
I think you need pluses as well for the other side.
Yeah, I got 2 pluses and two minuses because I think we got to do it that way for this, right? So then this would be the Y position in that top portion, right? So um, I just want to keep this here to kind of make it clear, right? So do left, then we're going to do right is less than. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this isn't quite what I was doing. Oh, wait a minute. This one here is what I need.
The top one.
Yeah. Oh, look, I did this backwards.
So which one is R2 and which one is R1 in our model?
Um, R1 would be uh the in the way I'm doing it, it's the adventurer, and then this one's the
Okay.
wall, right? So
Okay, so 2 is the wall.
yeah, so 2 is the wall. So with this R1 dot right though is not this position. This would actually be the positive version.
Right. Okay. Because you're to the right of it.
Yeah. Right. And so with that being the case, um, now I want to take R2's right and compare it to the left. So that would be 3,
Mhm.
and then that would be this one. Did it switch the signs on
Yeah.
me? I switched the directions, huh?
I need a less than.
Yeah. I mean, I could have switched the sides of the tests,
Yeah, I'd
but
rather it be consistent.
that's what I was going to do. I was trying to make it so it stays looking the same, right? So then it's the left. Yeah. Okay. So then right and top and bottom. So R2 top, which is this is the second position.
Second one. Yeah.
And then this will be the Y position with 12 on it. Also,
that's the minus or the plus.
Right. So Y would be positive. So the top.
Yeah, so we're doing the top, so the Y positive. Is that the...
Like top is greater than the bottom. No, because it's the negative one. Yeah. And then this should be the last position 4. And we're saying check the bottom against the top. And so that should be here.
Right, and that's the top. Okay.
And that's
and then you're going to stick them all inside each other, right? Nest them up, or is there more
Yep.
coming?
There's one more thing that we need to do, is we actually need to do a knot in front of that. So this will go inside. Let me do it the other way. This will go inside this one. This will go inside that one. This will go inside that one. And this will go inside that one.
Right.
Oh, I forgot I didn't. The last one's not going to need it.
Because it falls out.
Yep. And so this tests if they intersect. So if this is true,
then move.
No, if this is true, then don't.
Then don't, because that's okay.
But
you said, you knotted it.
Yes, because they've intersected.
Okay.
Oh no! Hold on a second. I gotta change one of the
Oh, the sign's wrong. Ooh.
Not the sign, but the direction of
pointy. Yeah, yeah, that one.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no! Did that just mess up that value?
I don't think it did.
Oh. It's like, why it dropped there? All right, so greater than, less than, greater than, less than, greater than, less than, greater than, less than. Okay.
Right.
Right. So if this is happening, this is intersecting. Maybe we should actually have. Should we make a block for this? Do you think?
We could.
I'm trying to figure out where.
Although sometimes that slows it down a little bit, which is weird, and it shouldn't, but it is the case.
Because I feel like I'm going to have to duplicate this.
Let's see if it works before we make it into a block. You think? Well, I guess it makes it easier to work with. You can still edit it in the block. Throw it in the block.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This might just be easier to work with. So, I don't even know.
I think it's a reporter, isn't it?
Yeah, this will be a reporter.
Or predicate, maybe, because it's got pointy.
The predicate.
See the shape of it?
Yeah, I think that's right. And I don't know where to put this. I guess under. I guess operators are fine since it is an operator. Let's say.
It's like a wall collision, right?
Yeah, wall hit. I'm trying to figure out how generic we want to make this, right? So let me let's do this one first, I guess. And then we can report.
Can we pass that item in? Because this is inside of for each.
Yeah, so I think we can. Right, so
plus.
We want to
Yeah.
input wall. And then we just put wall into here.
That'll be item. Yeah. That's so much nicer than Scratch for that kind of stuff.
I know. I wonder if they'll ever catch up and decide to do the same thing.
Apparently, this is built on top of Scratch. This is an extension of Scratch.
Snap is?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
I believe if you read the beginning, like the foreword of that manual, that it's like gives a shout out to the Scratch guys.
Ah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. I believe that's the deal. Is wall hit? Now you got to pass it the item.
I know. Hold on a second. Let's change this. You see what I just saw?
Do.
Let's edit. We want to put this in here. We actually don't. Can we change this? Oh yeah, rename. So I can name this walls. And then this needed to be
Item once more. Probably could have changed the item to walls. Wall.
Oh, I guess I could have, huh?
Would
Can you do that?
Sense.
Ah.
Hmm. Doesn't like
not.
that.
Okay. All right. So then, should we do? Then we can do this as. Should we do these as ands? Like and not.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's moving left, so that's the one we did, right?
Yep. And then this will be.
Right.
Yeah. So. And then up was the other one that we did.
Yeah. I'm curious to see. Well, the key's probably going to go through, so that. Not anymore.
Whoa.
So top didn't work. Left
So
kind of worked.
it didn't. I stopped it.
Oh.
See.
It didn't work. Okay.
So, can I? Want to leave walls on. I want to. I think I want to turn this on. And then this is fine, I guess. Can I just hide this?
You just click the hide block.
I know. Yeah. All right. So, and then the only thing I'm not sure about, right? So we ended up putting this into the operators for the adventurer. I think I know what the problem is. We actually are reporting, but we didn't do an if on this. So this reports right out of the first one. Right? So I think what we actually need to have in here is we need to do like if this then report it.
And report a what bolt? I think you should put the switch in there. That's it. You had it. Right under nut.
Let's try that. Oh. Oh man. So that's pretty slow.
Wow. That bogged it way down.
Yeah, because you can see going the other directions because we're not doing that is wall hit.
Yeah, look how much faster it is.
Yeah, like this is. Let's see. Why would this be so slow? I mean, I'm assuming it's because we have to keep doing these. I wonder if these lookups are slow.
Something's slow. Well, that's what I was saying. Sometimes it's weird just being in a block, which is crap, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like I'm.
Well, so the thing that's weird, right? So let me see if I actually. And it didn't even
It
work.
doesn't even work.
Oh man. Oh man. Let's see. So we're saying if that top and that side. Yeah. Why? Oh man. I don't know. It's 18 minutes after 10. So
Yeah. Well, this will be a good one to start the
yeah,
stream on
yeah.
again.
Because this is tricky. I feel like I need to read the snap manual to get a sense of like what it's capable of. Because there's something very slow here, and I don't know what it is. Um, this is generally how you do it, and the weird part is there's only 2 items in the list. Um, I wonder if
Yeah,
we
like
what if we take this off and we just do 1 item in the list? Oh, okay. So it's slower. I mean, it's still not working, but so 1 item is okay. 2 was
was bad.
ridiculous.
Wow, it's just terrible.
I can't even imagine what it would be like if we had 4 or we had the maze or any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's not going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, ores tend to be a little heavier, but still. Oh, maybe try using that. Maybe that warp block will do it quicker. Try that.
What is a warp block?
It's supposed to lighten the weight of what's going on. Where is it though?
Control?
There it is. See warp. Try wrapping that around the loop, like because there was something about like it executes different.
Well, it's faster.
It's not working still, but it's not slowed down.
It'd be nice if it was working though.
Yeah, well, working would be good, but I mean, at least we can run the code.
Yeah, so
I wonder if you could put the sensing in there and it just solves all our problems.
oh, you think?
I don't know. Because I'm not 100% sure how, like, I kind of read over it when I was looking for something else in the manual, but I think like it changes the way it processes it. So it's supposed to like
Well,
lean up the processing.
well, what if we do
Yeah, just warp it there.
yeah. So we want to have Oh, it's not touching. And then
Probably want to like wrap it around all those ifs, I guess. Just separate the bottom one.
Oh, let's just try it like that.
Yeah, I guess there's no reason we need to see anything. Nah, not that.
Nope.
That, it didn't help. So it helped the looping, but not the sensing.
I still wonder if it actually helped the loop.
Well, I mean, it helped it from whatever it was slowing it down. I don't know if it'll help it work. You know, this undo stuff, just so you know.
I do not know.
All right, so up in the top right corner, there's that back arrow. That's technically an undo. So you can walk it back. The top right corner of your code screen, there is a little back arrow.
Oh, this thing here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's an undo.
Use the keyboard to enter blocks. Wait a minute. You can do what?
Yeah, I don't know
what's that?
I don't know what to use the keyboard to enter blocks is, but
I don't know either, but it'd be interesting. So I feel like this must not be working properly. Right? So if we were to
yeah, you almost want to like. I wish we could put it into a variable just so we could see what the report is.
Oh, we could. Well, we know what the report is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we do know. Like, yeah, I guess we do know.
But we could do it.
Just trying to gain some insight on what is happening inside of there. That's not what we think it is. Because it looks like the ores chained together should work to me.
Well, so what should happen is if we were to look at this here, this is why I had shoot. So in this case, this is negative 240, and we're saying is this greater than the x position plus 12, which it is not. It's less than. Which is fine. But then we're checking negative 220, and so this should have been less than. This should have been true. So this value here, this should have come out as a true statement.
Right, which should have trued all of it.
Yes.
Because bunch of ores.
Oh, hold.
But it's knotted.
Does this not end the loop?
Oh, I don't. Maybe it doesn't terminate it. Mm.
No, it does.
Yeah, it looks like it does. So
Let's just try putting it into a variable to see. So we can just kind of do set.
Oh, I gotta stop this soon. It's getting late. We got classes and stuff happening.
I got you. Oh, it just took. Wait, what just happened? I got rid of my warp block.
Just stripped it off.
I don't know. It was doing something. So then all I wanted to do is I wanted to have temp actually show, right? So
So false. So nothing changes.
so let me stop that. What can we do to test? Can we do something inside of the operator here? What if we just did? Can we do these individually?
Do they need to be? Wait a minute. So that's so if any one of those is false, it returns true. That seems weird.
Well, it's basically saying that one of the edges are touching.
Right.
You're saying,
And it's always false. I mean, that's the other thing I'm looking at. So it is always coming out false. Okay.
yeah. Because what I was thinking is, can we do something like, I don't want to do a for each in here, but I think we're going to have to, I want to test each of these independently. That's what I was trying to figure out how to do, right? Because it'd be nice to be able to say, which of these are actually coming out as true.
I see.
But we are
Yeah, we're out of time.
we're out of
Yeah, do
time.
some stuff.
You said you had unlimited time now.
Well, I said I had extra time, and actually, I probably could even come back if you want to work on it a little later. You can fire up the stream. There's only 3 people watching, and 2 of them are us anyway.
Yeah, we can always check it out later. I think we're getting close though. I think this is. It's weird that I want to. If it works, I'd be really interested as to why the warp makes it faster. I'm gonna have to do some reading on that.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like undocumented or anything.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So,
Well, I
all right.
think
Well,
we do need to wrap it. I've got this saved, so we're ready to come back to this again. And
okay.
yeah, that was good stuff. It was fun.
All right.
Well,
All
everybody
right.
have a great weekend, and we will be back. Well, maybe back later. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet. So,
Yeah. Worst case scenario, we'll see you Wednesday.
yeah, right. All right. There we go. Nope. No, we're not.